What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of War Games Are For Everybody, where today we're going to be hopping into the first campaign for Runescape Kingdoms, Shadow of Elvarg. It is not going to be the campaign where we go against Elvarg. It's going to be Vampyr Slayer. We're going to be going through the Vampyr Slayer campaign, where we get to slayer a vampire. We're going to be starting with the Vampyr Slayer campaign. It is the first campaign recommended for the game, which is why we're going to start there. Good place to start, right? We're just going to hop right into this. I feel like it's going to take a little while, and I have to add our characters in, and I'm going to have to go over combat and stuff again. So we're just going to hop right into this with the Vampyr Slayer campaign. Campaign number 1. During the day, a bright sun bathes the kingdom of Misthalin. I'm going to forget how to pronounce these all the time. Of Misthalin and Asgarnia, casting its benevolent light over the contented villagers, feted rulers, and prosperous kingdoms. But as night draws in, a dreaded foe stirs from its slumber. New Adventurer's Guide. Follow the instructions in adding adventurers to the game on page 13. So here we are on page 13. We're going to add our adventurers into the game here. And you probably saw them while we're still in the wide mode. I forgot to zoom in here while we were going through the rulebook part there. You probably saw them while I was zoomed out there. The character that I personally am going to be playing as, because it's what I typically play as when I play games in general, is going to be the Knight. We're going to be taking on the role of the Knight. And we have to place him in a capital not possessed by another player. We're going to start over here in Lumbridge. I think it's the correct place to start. You know, you're playing RuneScape, you get out of Tutorial Island, you start in Lumbridge. That's just where you start. In order to deduce the name of our character, what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll this D10 here. And we're going to see how many letters we get. 2 letters. The first name of our character is going to be 2 letters long, and I'm going to roll this dice here that has the letters of the alphabet on it. Basically, if we roll a wild, we'll roll again. We need 2 letters for our first name. First thing is a V. So the first letter of our first name is V, and the second letter of our first name is U. Our name is Vu. Very French. It's very basic French. I wish I could remember what that was. And then we're going to roll that D10 for our last name here. 7 characters for our last name. So we've got Vu. We're starting off with a T. So that's 1. 2. We've got an A. Oh, there goes my pen. An A. Number 3. We've got is that a J? A J. Number 4 is a wild. We'll roll again. Number 4 is a wild. We'll roll again. H. Number 5 is a D. It rolled off the board there, but it's a D. Number 6 is a W. Oh my God, how are we going to pronounce this? I think there's going to be a lot of silent letters, and our final roll is an A. So our name, the name of our knight is Vu Tajdwa. Maybe the H is silent. Maybe it's just Vu Tajdwa. That's what we're going with. Vu Tajdwa, the knight, starting off their adventure in Lumbridge. And then I believe it said we get 3... Where are we here? Enter the game, collecting a character sheet, selecting one of the low-level tier miniatures, and placing it on the map in a capital region. They collect 3 GP and 3 resources of their choice. So we're gaining some gold here. That's pretty nice. I don't really know what we're going to take for resources here. I don't know what resources are going to be popping up here all that much. I don't know what resources are going to be popping up throughout our quest here. Let's maybe sneak a bit of a look over at the thing here. No, none of the things on the Vampyr Slayer quest board there gives us any hint at what resources we should take here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a meat. We're going to take maybe a lumber. So we're going to take a meat for sure. We'll take a meat. Although wait, no, the lobsters are the cooked food. The meat's not the cooked food. We'll take some flour maybe. I think some of our stuff required cooking on there if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. We'll take a flour and we'll take a cabbage, a meat, a flour, and a cabbage. I think that's a good way to go. And then with our second character, maybe we can just take different stuff, right? Now collect a recipe book card. Search the equipment deck, choosing one of the starting equipment cards. This is the equipment adventure we'll begin the game with. What's considered a starting equipment card? Was that something that it's... we've got our cookbook here. Was that something we went over in Tutorial Island? Starting equipment? It definitely brought up the equipment deck, but I don't know what it considers to be a starting equipment. Is the bronze longsword considered a starting equipment? Is the short bow considered a starting equipment? Oh, starting equipment. It literally says starting equipment. I'm just an idiot. So this is the starting equipment for the warrior, I guess. A common weapon for a novice adventurer. So we're going with the bronze longsword here. So we've got both of those. This is the starting equipment that the adventurer will begin with. Each player selects 2 of their skills to begin the game at level 2. The rest begin at level 1. More details on this can be found in the next section. That I remember. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with... Let's put everything at 1 to start with here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put our melee to 2. And we're going to put our cooking defense... We're going to put our defense at 2. I think defense at 2 is the way to go. That is going to set up our knight character for us. And as you can see, well, as you could see, we have a second character sheet up there because we are indeed going to be creating a second character that we're going to control throughout the game here. I'm going to have to remember all that stuff's up there because I know some of that gear can... Maybe I'll bring my gear down under the board. I think I'm going to do that. Once the book's out of the way, it'll be a little easier. I'm going to bring my gear down here under the board just so I can remember which is which. And as you could see up there, we have a second character sheet because we are going to be playing 2 separate characters to make things a little easier on us as far as getting around the board is concerned. And that character, zoom back in here, is going to be playing as the archer. Going to be playing as an archer because I figure it's good to learn melee and range combat. And the archer, let's say they're going to start over here in Faldor, excuse me. We'll put them there in a moment. First things first, we have to get a name. The first name is going to be 4 characters long. We've got, it's still going, a B. We've got an X. I think that's going to be a silent X. We'll have to see. We've got another B. And we've got a wild, re-rolling. Another wild. We're really staying on the wilds, right? And a C. That is quite the name. Maybe the C is silent. Maybe it's Books the Archer. And the last name is going to be 2 characters long. We've got a wild. It's really rolling the wilds right now. A C. And a wild. Oh, come on. Oh. Well, that was probably really loud, which I apologize for. That rolled to the other side of the table. So I'm going to have to go get it. Give me a sec here. And go figure, it rolled a wild. Of course it rolled a wild. Let's give that another shot. Goes halfway across the room and it still comes up undecided. A G. Okay. So we've got books, kug. books, kug. The archer. Okay, everything is at level 1. Obviously, for our ranger, we're going to put our range up 1. And let's put our thieving up 1 for the ranger. I think that's a good way to go. Now, as for the resources here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a fish. We're going to take an egg. Did I take a flower on my other one? I did. And we're going to take a stone. Let's do that. I think that's a good spread. We'll see how things go. And then we need 3 gold here as well. And then that's it for character creation. It only took us 10 minutes to create our character. That's all. It's all good. It's all fine. Okay, let's zoom back out here, even though we're going to be zooming back in a sec. Got the recipe book here. Oh, we have to get our basic weapon for our archer, which is obviously going to be a bow. So we've got our 2 character sheets back up at the top here. We've got our recipe book for the archer. I'm going to put it on the right-hand side here since it will be in the same side of the board as the character sheet will be, and we're going with our short bow as the starting equipment for our archer. Okay, back to the campaign sheet because we need to start with the campaign. We need to get going. We just did our character setup. That dice can now be retired, our constant wild dice. Okay, let's see where we were here. We are going to put our archer back into Faldor. I've got my initiative cards here, which are for combat, but I have the knight and the archer initiative cards. Those are for combat. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, new adventurer guide complete. Setting up. Follow the instructions in the setting up the full game section on page 14. And collect the Vampyr Slayer cards from the box. I did this already. I wanted to save time. I think I did everything properly. I think. I don't know. I'm going to hope I did. Place a Runescape token at the lowest slot of the escalation track. Already there. Shuffle the equipment deck and the event deck. Okay, my events are off to the side. Oh, the events are out of the screen still. That's a shame. Our events are a little outside the screen. They're beside the Vampyr Slayer escalation deck, which is the... Well, you can kind of see the corner of it here. It's like right over here. It's beside this deck here. And then we have to shuffle our equipment deck here as well. Do I keep the starting equipment in here? Probably, right? Gonna give the equipment a good shuffle here. The events I don't know any of, so it doesn't even matter. But equipment was probably in a pretty set order. So we'll make sure it's good and on the floor. That's what we're gonna make sure of. I feel like this happens every single time I try to play a game. I end up, I end up tossing things all over the place. There we go. Okay. Just having trouble getting it on there. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Shuffled enough for me. It's shuffled enough for me. Shuffle the equipment deck and the event deck. Done. Place the Vampyr Slayer Campaign board in the playing area where everyone can see it. And the Dread Danger card on the slot with the danger icon. Read the Dread card aloud. We're reading the Dread card aloud. Dread. An uneasy tension fills the air. The possible presence of Count Draenor fills you with dread and makes your movement sluggish. When an adventurer takes a skill test in a region with a danger token, they roll 1 fewer skill dice to a minimum of 1. Unfortunate. That is a little unfortunate. We'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how that goes. I do want to shuffle these guys. That was something I didn't do when I was going through here. I forgot to shuffle these up. I don't know if these ones are supposed to stay in a proper order or not, but I feel like shuffling is... I mean, that makes sense, right? Because then it'll actually be random when we explore. I know I'm doing these out of order. I apologize. I have a handful of cards over here that were not mixed in. They're part of the Vampyr Slayer quest. That's not next. This is next. And then we've got you. Oh, there's a couple for the other one. I wonder why all the other ones only had 1 and this one has 2. But maybe because it's Lumbridge. Maybe Lumbridge is just special. Okay, that stuff shuffled. Put that in place. Return the rest of the cards to the box. They will be needed for the Count Draenor boss fight. I have them just all off to the side here. So we'll come across those when we come across those. Whenever everyone is ready, draw and resolve the top card of the escalation deck, and each player places their adventurer in a different capital region. I've done that. I've done that. Oh, I skipped the side deck thing. The side quest deck should only have cards with Vampyr Slayer. Oh, should only have cards with Vampyr Slayer. I think it is. I think it is just Vampyr Slayer in here, right? Because I don't think there were any quests outside of... No, there aren't. So it's all Vampyr Slayer. Let's shuffle these up. Vampyr Slayer in the top right corner. Take these side quests and place them in the play area to form the side quest deck. Each adventurer must accept a side quest now. If this is your first time playing, we recommend accepting one of the starting side quests. I think side quests were something you could actually look through. I don't think we actually have to shuffle this, because I think side quests were things you can look through. Anyway, we're going to take its recommendation. Since it's our first time playing the game, we are indeed going to choose one of the easier ones. The first thing is its length. So we have short, medium, and long. And then the second one is its difficulty, which all of these seem to be normal, so... Or novice, I guess is what it is. All of these seem to be novice. So I think what we're going to do is my knight is going to go with Witch's Potion. And my ranger can go with... let's go with Goblin Diplomacy. Let's go with Goblin Diplomacy for the ranger. Collect the Vampyr Slayer Escalation deck. We did that. The vault should be made up of cards 0 through 54. We did that. I think I might have messed up the vault thing because I was trying to figure something out when I was going through the setup, because there's a handful of exploration cards that have like the vault number on them. So I put those in the vault deck because I think they should be part of the vault deck, but I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. We'll find out as we go through, I suppose. Anywho, vault card should be 0 through 54. That is complete. It's off to the side there. When everyone's ready, draw and resolve the top card of the escalation deck, and each player puts their adventure in a different capital region. Like I said before, we're going to have the knight in Lumbridge. We're going to have our ranger in Faldor. It's only been 20 minutes. We're finally going to start the game. It's only been 20 minutes. We're finally going to start. Return any remaining cards for this campaign to the box to be used later. The player who most recently played RuneScape or Old School RuneScape takes the first turn. Well, I guess I'm taking the first turn. The knight will take the first turn. The knight will take the first turn. So, what we need to do, Vampyr Slayer, the first thing we need to do, we need to speak to Morgan. And in order to do that, where is it? We need 1 skill in defense, and we need an adventurer in Draenor Village with a defense of 1 or more. And we can perform that action. But we're not by... Oh, I could go to Draenor with the knight. It's connected to Lumbridge. Drainor's connected to Lumbridge. So maybe we will do that. We're going to make our way over to Lumbridge since we already have 2 defense, seeing as we started with 2 defense. So we're going to go from Lumbridge over to Draenor. Let's zoom in here on the map while we're doing our map actions here so we can see a little better. Zooming in on the map. I'm going to do my best to keep everything relatively in frame. It's going to be a little awkward because I'm going to have to move the camera around when we zoom in and zoom out. I'll do my best. So we're moving over to Draenor Village. Now, my character sheets are way up there and I can't see my... So move or teleport, action or explore, and then bonus action. Is the bonus, I need to double check if the bonus action is the foraging and stuff, or if the action is the foraging and stuff, and then the bonus action is... The bonus action is me foraging. Or the bonus action is me doing the quest stuff. I think I have to explore first though, right? Equipment schematics, performing... This is a learning process, by the way. Anyone who's annoyed that I don't know all the rules by heart yet, I apologize. I really do. But that's just not where we're at quite yet. This is still a learning process for me as well. Taking a turn, yeah. Move, yes. Explore or perform a quest. Oh, explore or perform a quest action. So instead of exploring, we are performing a quest action. We are performing the Speak to Morgan action with our knight. An adventurer in Draenor Village with a defense of 1 or more can perform the following... Oh, 1 or more. Well, anyone could have done this action, I guess. Can perform this action, Speak to Morgan, by collecting Vault Card number 2. We need Vault Card number 2. The people of Draenor Village live in constant terror. Their numbers are dwindling, all due to the foul creature lurking in the manor to the north known as the Vampyr. 1 villager, Morgan, seeks aid. That is what the... Zoom out here so you can actually see that. That's what the text on the campaign card says. So we're taking Vault Card number 2 here, which is our Morgan card. And that reads, Vampyr Slayer. Vault Card number 2, Morgan. Please help us, bold adventurer. Our little village has been dreadfully ravaged by an evil vampire. He lives in the basement of the manor to the north. We need someone to vanquish him once and for all. I have a friend who is retired vampire hunter. I'm drifting a little bit. His name is Dr. Harlow. He may be able to give you some tips. Find him at the Blue Moon Inn. Gain 3 GP and 1 defense experience. So we need a experience token for our knight has gained 1 experience in defense. Once we gain 2 more, we will gain another defense level. And I also need to take a Runescape token here and place it over Speak to Morgan, as we have done that. Our next objective is to speak to Dr. Harlow. I have to take my bonus action still, but our next objective is to speak to Dr. Harlow. Dr. Harlow is willing to help you in your quest, but first his lips must be wetted by beer newly brewed. An adventurer in Verac. I gotta get all the way to Verac? It's going to take at least 2 turns. An adventurer in Verac with a thieving skill of 2 or more can perform the following action. Get your hands on a newly brewed beer and speak to Dr. Harlow by collecting Vault Card number 3. luckily for us, our ranger, Bix Chug, has 2 thieving because they're an archer, and I thought thieving was a good idea. I actually didn't, I swear I didn't read through the card first to make sure that we were able to do that. So we are in Draenor Village with our knight still. We have done our explore or perform quest action, and now we get to perform our bonus action. The adventurer may perform a bonus action. There are a number of bonus actions detailed on various game components. Each will detail how and when they can be performed. Well, that's not helpful. Nothing saying I have a bonus action. Do I have a bonus action? Do I have anything that can give me a bonus action? Reminder, if an adventurer ends a turn on a capital region, we have not ended our turn on a capital region, we're in Draenor. While an adventurer is in a capital, they may place any number of, yeah, that's the bank stuff, explore a province, explore a capital. Huh. I don't know what my bonus actions are. Just says a bunch of things have bonus actions that could be said. Oh, bonus action, cook. I guess that's a bonus action. Gain 1 cooked food or ration and discard 3 different ingredients. What's considered an ingredient? I guess it has to be like the meat or the cabbage or the flour. Would flour count as an ingredient? They're all just considered, well, I guess they're ingredients, and then the other ones are resources. So I suppose we would need, I have 3 ingredients. I could give up my ingredients to cook something, but I don't think we're going to cook something right now. For anyone who wants to see that, the bonus action is right down here. I'm not zoomed in enough for it to focus. It is right down here at the bottom of my recipe book. Allows us to cook. We have to test our cooking skill if we want to cook, but I think we're going to hold off for now because we can actually use those in order to gain skills and stuff later on. That's it. That's our turn for the night. That's everything for the night. So we're going to move on to the, are they considered a rogue? What are they called? I've just been calling it an archer. Oh, it's an archer. I'm all good. It's an archer. So we have the knight and the archer. We're going to move on to the archer's turn here. Now, we do have these side quests here that we could work on. We have Goblin Diplomacy with our archer here. Starting, General Betnose and Wartface can't agree on which color their tribe should wear. Help them solve their dispute so the world doesn't have to worry about rioting goblins. If an adventurer is in Goblin Village, they can steal their old clothes and present them back to the generals as an altered option by performing the following action. So once we get to Goblin Village, we can do that. Are we attached to Goblin Village right now? We aren't. Goblin Village is up off of Burnthop and the Ice Mountains. That's going to take some work to get over to the Goblin Village. So we'll hold off on progressing our quest for the time being. I want to try and progress the main quest for now. Just for now. And we should be good. Oh, I think I was supposed to read the first thing of the escalation track, wasn't I? Oh, I'm forgetting to do things already. Hold on. Of the escalation cards for the Vampyr Slayer. Nope. Where's my campaign here? Boss turns. Campaign 2. Campaign 1. Vampire, shuffle the equipment deck. Vampire, return the rest of whenever one. Draw, resolve, return, player. Nope. Collect the Vampyr Slayer escalation deck. Place it beside the escalation track. Place a token. Lowest if there isn't one there already. Player most recent. I swear. Oh, it's right down here. When everyone is ready, draw and resolve the top card of the escalation deck, and each player places their adventurer in a different capital region. My bad. I forgot to do that. Here's our first card of the escalation deck. Vampire awakens! In the crypt beneath Draenor Manor, Count Draenor awakens, eager to slake his thirst for blood. I'm going to have to look that one up. I can't say that I know what slaking is. Place a danger token in Drainer Manor and Drainer Village. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to do some retroactive dangering here. Well, I didn't have to roll any dice. It's just if I have to roll dice, right? So we need to put a danger token in Drainer Manor and in Drainer Village. And then there's some more stuff underneath there that we'll do in a sec here. So, Drainer Manor and Drainer Village, we got danger tokens on both of those. And then, where were we? Where'd that card go? And then we've got collect Vault card 24 and shuffle it into the Lumbridge Exploration deck. Then collect Vault card number 1 and place it on top. I did it right. I did it right. I was supposed to put that stuff into... I was supposed to put the stuff into the deck. So where is... What number was that? 24. So, oh, I don't have 24. Oh, did I shuffle it in already? Is that one of the ones I shuffled in? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where's... Lumbridge? Lumbridge is this guy. Did I shuffle that in there already? Oh, 24. I did shuffle that in there already. Oh, and there's 1. So 1's going to end up on top. Let's shuffle it. I did already put it in there. So I at least now I know for the later campaigns that that is exactly what I need to do. So that's shuffled in, and 1 is going on top. I'm going to have to remember that if I want to explore in Lumbridge, I suppose. And then we didn't end up rolling anything, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're back to the archer's turn, where we've done everything with the archer. This can stay over here. I'll just have like a escalation discard over there. So what do we want to do with the ranger? We're probably going to head over to the Barbarian Village, right? Because we want to get over to Verac in order to speak to Dr. Harlow. So we are going to move our ranger over here to Barbarian Village. And then we're going to explore, right? We're going to explore Faldor, because that's one of the things I can do. Let me just find that page with our movements here. Campaigns, skill trees. I'm going to have to make a quick reference guide for this, because going around here is a pain. Okay, explore, perform an action, a quest action. So no quest action, so we're just going to be performing an exploration. So we are exploring the Faldor region, and we are currently in the Barbarian Village. So let's see what we got. We got Faldor. First one is the Barbarian Village. On the outskirts of the village, there are wild plants and animals aplenty waiting to be found. We have to test our gathering skill. Now, our gathering skill currently is only level 1, yet the difficulty, I believe is what the first one is a rating of 2. So unfortunately, we only get to roll 1 die, and we need to roll a 6 or higher in order to succeed. So let's roll our 6. Add orange dice to archery skill tests. Add orange dice to melee skill tests. So no orange dice for us. Look at that. We got a 6, just barely, but we got it. Want to focus? Am I too far out to focus? Only barely too far out to focus. We got our 6. So we have successfully conquered this exploration of the Barbarian Village, and we have been rewarded with an ingredient of our choice. And then these go back to the bottom of the deck, I believe it said. So these just get cycled through. And we get to get an ingredient. It said we gain an ingredient of our choice. We're going to take a fruit here, because we don't got any fruits. So we're going to take this cherry here, which is just supposed to symbolize a fruit. And that is going on to Bixbix resource tab. These names are going to be the death of me. And that completes Bixbix the archer's turn. That's everything for that turn. We don't have any bonus actions we could do. We could cook something, but don't really feel the need to cook anything at the moment. So I think we're just going to head on to the knight's second turn. And starting off, what is our thing for the night? Let's go over our night quest here, side quest, which is the Witch's Potion. It is a short quest of a novice difficulty. Will gain +3 experience in defense and 2 gold should we complete it. An eccentric witch needs testers for their latest concoction. Who are you to say no to a free drink? Do I need to be in a certain place for this? If the adventurer is in Port Sarim, they can perform the following action. So once we get to Port Sarim, we will attempt that with our knight. Currently, we are nowhere near Port Sarim. We're like 2 whole hops away here. And theoretically, if we're concerned about movement time, I could drop a resource and teleport to Faldor. And then instead of taking 1, 2, 3 turns to get to Port Sarim, it would only take us 2 turns. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I just want to make sure teleporting... Is teleporting 1 GP or is it 1... Instead of moving, adventurers may discard a GP to teleport. So it's a 1 GP. We're going to discard our 1 GP off of... It just really doesn't want to focus, eh? There we go. We're going to discard our 1 GP off of Vu the Knight. I'll toss it over here for now. We're probably going to need it at some point. And we're going to warp up to Faldor. Now that we've gotten to Faldor, we can either explore or perform a quest action. I don't have any quest actions to perform. I need to be in Port Sarim, so we are going to explore the Faldor region. Oh, but exploring's different, right? Exploring's different when you're exploring a capital, which is definitely a thing. Let me, exploring a province. Capital region show 3 skill icons on their left and right side. When the adventurer explores a capital city, they may gain 1 experience in 1 or more of these skills by discarding the number of GP shown above it. When exploring a capital region, adventurers may forage, as described on page 22. So I could forage for the string, which is what we're going to do, because I think foraging is a bonus action, right? Because exploring is doing the experience, and then our bonus action would be foraging, which would give us the string. So if that's the case, would I not? Oh, I could have foraged an experience in archery for my thief by discarding a resource, because that's how that works. I have to discard a resource in order to skill. We should probably do that, right? So we're going to back up a little bit. We're going to discard our rock that we had with the archer, and we're going to gain 1 experience in... We're going to gain 1 experience in archery. Just backing up a little bit. A little bit of retroactive experience gaining here. That's all. That's all it is. Back to the knight. We have 2 GP left with the knight. We could gain... Can I zoom in right on Faldor here? Am I in the right spot? Not really. Move the camera over here a little bit. We could gain, for 2 gold, an experience in melee. Would get us closer to level 2 in... Or level 3, I should say, in melee. We could also level up crafting, which is only level 1. For 1 gold, we could level up our defense and our gathering. If we spend both gold, we could level up each of them once. So I think that might be what we're going to do. We're going to use our 2 gold from our knight in order to level up. Not level up, in order to gain 1 experience in both crafting, not crafting, in both gathering and in defense. So we only need 1 more experience in order to get to the next level of defense here. And then we're also going to be foraging, so we're going to gain a string. here in Faldor. And because we ended our turn in Faldor, unfortunately, we are going to have to increase the... what's it called here? The escalation track by 1. So we're going to gain our 1 string. Escalation track moving up by 1. Coming back out here just so we can see a little more. That is going to end our second turn with the knights. Going back to the archer, we're heading over to Verac. We're going to hit up the second part of our... we're going to hit up the second part of our main quest, the Vampyr Slayer quest here. So we are going to move our archer over here to Verac. And we're going to zoom in over on Verac here, since that's where we are. Mind the camera movement here. Zoomed in on Verac. Little jagged. I need to find a better way to smoothly move my camera. Apparently my tripod's too stiff. So our archer is over here in Verac. We are going to do our quest action by speaking to Dr. Harlow. An adventurer in Verac with thieving of 2 or more can perform the following action. Get your hands on a newly brewed beer and talk to Dr. Harlow by collecting Vault card number 3. So let's grab Vault card number 3 here. That's a lot of text. That is a lot of text. Okay. How to slay a vampire, Dr. Harlow. Vault card number 3. Vampires, I was very good at killing them once. You're going to need a stake, otherwise he'll just regenerate. Now just any piece of wood will do. Fetch a branch from the ancient evergreen at the foot of White Wolf Mountain, although it's less cooperative than it used to be. You'll need a hammer as well. To drive it in properly, your everyday hammer won't work. You'll need to craft something specific. There is a rumor of a master craftsman living south of Port Sarum. One last thing is it's wise to carry garlic with you. Vampires are somewhat weakened if they can smell garlic. The more the better. Gain 3 gold pieces and 1 thieving experience. So we are gaining 3 gold pieces on our thief here. Our archer, who now has 6 gold pieces. 6 gold pieces for the archer. And we're also gaining 1 experience in thieving. So let's put our experience token onto our thieving track here. And our bonus action would now be to forage. So we're also going to be gaining a leather. I can only assume that's leather, or it's like some sort of hide. Would be the other guess. Okay, so we're adding that hide into books inventory. And seeing as we ended, we have to move the escalation track up again, and we are back to the knight's turn. That is the end of turn 2 for the archer. And now that we are here, I was going to Port Sarum in order to do my witch's potion thing, but now I want to go to Port Sarum for the main quest. Where was it that it said I needed to be in Port Sarum at? Oh, those are the wrong tokens. I need a RuneScape token. Vampires somewhat garlic, adventure 3 or more, collectible card. An adventure with cooking of 3 or more can perform the following action. Collect Vault card number 4. Oh no, I need to get someone's cooking up. No one has cooking that's that high. That was an experience token. RuneScape token. There we go. So speak to Dr. Harlow has been completed. Okay, so we need to get someone's cooking up to 3. That's a bit of a pain. The stake, fetch a branch from the ancient evergreen at the foot of White Wolf Mountain. So I need to go up to White Wolf Mountain. Where the hell's White Wolf Mountain? Oh my god, it's all the way up in the top left corner. It's in the far northwest of the map. That's a pain. It'll take us 2 turns to get over there. Okay, we have to go over there. Place, if we go to the foot of White Wolf Mountain, or maybe Cavalry is the foot of White Wolf Mountain. Maybe that's what it's saying. Fetch a branch from the ancient evergreen at the foot of White Wolf Mountain. Place the mini-boss token on Cavalry. The first adventurer to move on to that region collects vault card number 6. Oh, okay. So that has to go on there already, eh? Oh, God. We already have the mini-boss coming up. I don't have things set up for the mini-boss. I don't have space for that. So the mini-boss is in Cavalry there. I don't have table space for this. I thought this was going to be a better go than Skyrim was. It's not. It's not. The board is more compact, but it's still a big table hog. Okay, so first person to Cavalry. Spoke to Evergreen, acquired the stake. Is this saying that I have to go to White Wolf Mountain and Cavalry? I'm confused. Maybe Evergreen's the mini-boss? I'm confused. It's not being instructive enough. And then for the hammer, your everyday hammer won't work. You'll need to craft something specific. An adventurer in Port Sarum with crafting of 3. I need to get someone's crafting up to 3 too. I am out of luck here, eh? That's no good. That's no good. I know the rules say you're not allowed to just like stockpile all your gold onto one skill, but I might do that anyway. We can maybe consider it like an easy mode. If I'm in a capital and I decide to throw stuff at skills, I can be like, hey, I want 6 experience in crafting. Take my 6 gold and give me 6 experience. I think you're only allowed to gain 1 experience per stop. I'm pretty sure is what the rule book says, but we'll tread that water when we get there, I guess. We'll tread that water when we get there. Alrighty, so I now need to figure out if I want to go down. Well, I can't. Going down to Port Sarum doesn't even matter. I could go down for the Witch's Potion side quest, and I could try and do that. That would give me more defense. It would basically level me up in defense, and we would get 2 gold. I don't want to go to Taverly because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that mini boss. Not right now, anyway. Although the knight would be the better one to do it with, since I have 2 attack and 2 defense. I'd be better off with the knight, and using any melee attacks, I'd be gaining that bonus die as well, thanks to the bronze longsword. I need to remember how to upgrade stuff also. I would guess that upgrading would just be a extra action while you're inside of a town, right? Let me double check upgrading. I know it's in here somewhere. Recipes, Grand Exchange. Oh yeah, the Grand Exchange is a thing. The Grand Exchange allows you to trade resources out. That's something I'm going to have to remember as well. Oh, upgrading equipment. Here we go. Some equipment cards can be upgraded, including the starting equipment, in the same way that an equipment card would be crafted with the schematic. Upgradable equipment will list the resource required to attempt the upgrade, a skill test, and a vault card to collect if the test is passed. Oh, geez, excuse me. So I need a crafting of at least 2 to better my chances of upgrading my bronze longsword. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes, I suppose. And that would be something you would do in a, I guess, just as a bonus action. Like, it doesn't really say if it's a bonus action. It's after the schematics and the equipment and stuff. Oh, which is all under bonus actions. So I guess it is a bonus action. Does it say it's a bonus action? It doesn't say upgrading is a bonus action, but upgrading is a bonus action according to the book. Okay, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked trying to figure stuff out here. So we're going to go down to Port Sarum, and we're going to attempt to do the next part of our Witch's Quest here with the knight. So we're going to come down to Port Sarum. We're going to make our way down this way. We'll zoom in on Port Sarum here so we can see our lovely knight at this pretty awful angle over here on Port Sarum. We're going to do our quest action. So If an adventurer is in Port Sarum, they can perform the following action. Action, sample the witch's potion. So we need to do a skill test for our defense. Now, luckily, our knight has 2 defense, level 2 defense, so we're going to get 2 dice since we are on par with the test level. So we're getting 2 dice, and as you saw there, we need at least a 5 on one of the dice in order to be successful. And we got a 6. We got 1, 6, and a 2. So that 6, I can't believe it's focusing on the back when it's that close. That 6 is going to allow us to pass. So let's see what we successfully did. You feel a surge of energy for a few seconds. A successful test. The quest is complete. So since we completed the quest, we're going to gain 3 experience in defense, which is going to get us up to level 3 defense, as well as keeping the experience tokens where they are, because we currently have 2 experience tokens. So we're just gaining, where did I put my pen? We are gaining a new level in defense. Zooming out here just so you can see me marking the thing off. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, you're cheating. You're cheating. I should have made those a lot smaller, because apparently you can go up to level 99. I don't know how you're supposed to fit 99 ticks into that tiny little box, but you can go up to 99 apparently. And we're also getting 2 gold for completing that quest there. 2 gold for our knight, for Vu the Knight. Vu Tajdwa the Knight. Okay, so that's the... Oh, and then I can also forage. So we're going to get a fruit for foraging the area as well. I definitely need to double check what the Grand Exchange does, because I think I can go shift this stuff out, or I can sell it for gold. And selling it for gold would be nice. Bonus actions. You're around here somewhere, Grand Exchange. But apparently you're after the page I was on. Nope, that's mini bosses, which we'll get to pretty soon here probably, once we actually get to a mini boss. Side quest, oh, Grand Exchange, here we go. So we can discard a resource to gain another resource, discard a resource to gain gold, discard 2 gold to gain a resource, or discard 5 gold to draw the top 4 cards from the equipment deck and put one in the inventory. We could do that with the archer. They have 6 gold. We could get some more equipment. But what I want to do is get money right now so I can get my skills up. So that is going to end the turn for the knight. We're now back to the archer, and I need that archer to start doing some stuff for us. However, unfortunately, you know, I'm kind of at a loss for what we should do with the archer here. We could probably warp to another place. We could also just stay on Verac. It would allow us to get our crafting up, which we could use. We could literally level up to level 3 in our crafting if we just stay in Verac for the time being. I know the rules say you're not supposed to stack onto one thing, but I'm going to let it slide. I'm the one playing, and I think it's going to be more enjoyable. The only thing doing that in the rules, the only thing it's going to do is just waste time. It's just going to waste time, unfortunately, right? So I think with the archer, we're just going to stay in Verac. We're just going to stay in Verac, and we are going to... What do I need? I need 1 log and 3 strings. No one has a log right now. We're going to get logs, Lumbridge. That makes sense, I suppose. So I think I'm going to stay in Verac. So we're going to explore Verac, because that's going to be my action. Oh, no, we don't explore, right. The action is doing the skill stuff. So we're going to explore by getting experience. We're going to spend our 6 gold that we have with the archer here. And we're going to gain 6 experience in crafting. So we're going to actually be gaining 2 levels in crafting here, putting us to level 3 crafting. Yay, we did it. So we can do the hammer thing now. Your everyday hammer won't work. You'll need to craft something specific. An adventurer, so they have to get to Port Sarum now too, eh? What a pain. What a pain. So we're going to be ending here. So we're going to get another leather or hide, whatever you want to say it is. Escalation track has to go up by 1. I can only assume I'm going to have to go over and fight that mini boss, which I don't really want to do, but we'll have to do it, I'm sure. Where are the mini boss cards? I feel like those should be around somewhere, right? Did I just miss those? Because I don't have them out. I remember them being a thing. Where did those cards end up? Uh-oh. I know those mini boss cards are around somewhere. I'm going to have to figure that out. Are those in the vault somewhere? Or did they have their own stack of cards? I'll figure it out when we get to it. We'll get there. I'm going to have to find those cards, though, because I know they exist. So, with the knight, what are we going to do? Go up to Faldor, I guess. I have a couple gold. I could increase... What do I need for that other thing? Cooking. Can I get cooking in... I can't get cooking in Faldor. Cooking is in Lumbridge. That's pretty far away from where... it's pretty far away from where I need to be right now. I need string in order to upgrade the archer's short bow, so maybe we'll come back up to Faldor, although we're getting our escalation track up quite a bit there. I think we're going to come back up to Faldor. I'm going to hold off on leveling anything up. I don't really have the money to do it right now, but I am going to forage for that string. So we're going to gain a 2nd string on the knight, and our escalation track goes up by another 1. So now that our archer has that 3 crafting, we need to make our way over to Port Sarum, which is a pain. It's going to be a pain, especially since I currently don't have any gold. I don't have any gold. So we're going to have to make our way back to Barbarian Village here. Should be able to zoom right in on that. I'm on the knight. I can kind of zoom in on it. Come over here to Barbarian Village. And I guess we're going to explore. There's no reason not to explore, right? And that is part of Faldor. So exploring Faldor. And we are doing the Barbarian Village. Gunthor, the Barbarian leader, challenges you to a contest. Oh god, 4 defense. I don't have 4 defense. This isn't going to go well. So unfortunately, we only get 1 dice. We only get 1 dice in order to roll an 8 or higher. That's not going to go well. This is not going to go well. Unless we get incredibly lucky. This is what, 30% chance of getting the correct number? A 4. We got a 4. We failed. We failed. However, since we did the skill test, we do gain 1 experience in defense for our archer. I can't remember if I've been doing that for other stuff. What was the skill test for the witch's potion there? Also defense. So I should actually have another defense for the knight here. So the knight's actually going to be gaining another level in defense. Seeing as I forgot you're supposed to gain an experience when you test a skill, regardless of whether you fail it or pass it. Okay, again, learning experience. It's all good. It's all good. We failed. We got murdered by this barbarian chieftain here. Suffer a wound. We've suffered a wound. The first wound of the experience. One wound going on to Bixbic, the archer. And we put the defense experience on, and we're also going to be getting a resource in order to put another experience onto our archery. Because I want an archery skill. Now I just need to double check if it's 1 or 3 that I have to get rid of when I'm doing that skilling. For quests, schematics, exploring capitals, exploring a province. Two, skill or forage. 2 entry. Oh, well, that's not helping me here. When exploring a province region, adventurers may skill or forage as described on page 22. What, page 22? Why wouldn't it be on the page that literally talks about skilling and foraging? Provinces. Adventurer explores province capital, resource icon. They may forage. If they do, they gain 1 of the corresponding resource. When adventure province with a skill icon, they may skill discard between 1 and 3. Right, so I can get as many as I want to by discarding things. So I think actually what we're going to do is we'll discard 2 things. We'll discard our 2 hides here, because I don't think I need a hide for anything at the moment. We'll discard our 2 hides here in order to gain 2 experience into our archery, which is actually going to bring us up to level 3 in archery. Okay, this is going to become a problem when I start leveling up more, because I'm going to have to find space to put more ticks on too. Okay, so that was done. This goes back down to the bottom. It is now the knight's turn. The knight's turn to go. Where am I trying? I could go over to Cavalry and try this mini-boss thing. Figure out how mini-bosses work. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot, I suppose. So our knight is going to move over here to Cavalry. Place the mini-boss token on Cavalry. The first adventurer to move on to that region collects vault card number 6. So we need to collect vault card number 6. Vault card number 6 being, give me a sec here, gonna zoom in, being My Branches, mini-boss Evergreen. As you approach the ancient tree, ready to hack off a branch, its bark slowly shifts, revealing a knot resembling the face of an elderly man. Back slowly booms its commanding voice. The days that I would allow foolhardy adventurers to part one of my limbs are gone. Find another way to slay whatever vampire needs killing this time. That's funny. Fight for a branch. Collect vault cards 7 and 8 and place them on the mini-boss board. Evergreen starts the fight with 5 HP. When Evergreen is defeated, collect vault card number 9, and each adventurer in the fight gains 3 experience in a skill of their choice. So that, I guess, is what speaking to Evergreen was about. So we're going to be marking off that we spoke to Evergreen as part of our quest here. Spoke to Evergreen. We did it. Go us. It said that I needed to get vault cards number 7 and 8. So, vault cards number 7 and 8 are Needle Spray and Branch Lash. I don't know how I feel that there's no photo on here. It's just a big RS section. Yeah, well, we got the board up there, I guess. So we've got Needle Spray, which we'll go over them here before I put them up there. Needle Spray, mini-boss Evergreen. Needle Spray from Evergreen in all directions. Take cover. You have to make a defense roll with a skill level of 2 and a difficulty of 6. So we have to get 6 or higher on that in order to complete that one. And then we've also got the Branch Lash. Mini-boss Evergreen, getting close and make an attempt at hacking a branch off as they swipe at you. Reduce the test level and difficulty of the skill test by 1 for each RS token on the Needle Spray card. And for that, we have a skill of 4 in melee and a difficulty of 8. So that will be a little difficult. Now, I think because I'm here, I get to go into the boss fight, right? I guess I need to actually read the mini-boss section again here now. Escalating in danger, boss fights, mini-boss fights. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can't remember if I have to wait until next turn to do this or if I can do it this turn, if it's a bonus action kind of deal. During the campaign, adventurers will come up against formidable foes in mini-bosses. These enemies must be fought in a unique way as described in this section. Setting up for... Oh, I need to put that it starts at 5 HP, right? We're just going to use this XP token because that's what's here right now. It starts at 5 HP. When a mini-boss is encountered, players will be instructed to place the mini-boss token on a specific region. That we did. Before entering the fight, an adventurer will collect a mini-boss card as instructed by a quest. This card will detail the mini-boss's starting hit points, which mini-boss action cards to collect and place on the mini-boss board, and the reward adventurers will receive if they defeat it. Keep the mini-boss card until it has been defeated. Mini-boss action cards detail the action adventurers can perform when they are in a boss fight and are placed on the mini-boss board, as shown below. We've done that. Which slot each card is in is not important. Fighting a mini-boss. An adventurer in the same region as a mini-boss token can use their action to place their miniature onto the mini-boss board in the first available slot and fight it. Adventurers that begin their turn on the mini-boss board must either spend their whole turn fighting or move on to the same region as the corresponding mini-boss token and continue their turn as normal. To fight a mini-boss, an adventurer must select one of the mini-boss action cards and resolve any effect that is detailed on it. Okay, so I think I kind of understand how this works. Basically, instead of moving or stuff like that, we put ourselves up into the mini-boss board, and we have to choose whether we want a needle spray or we want a branch lash, and then we have to roll to see if we get it. Basically. When an adventurer inflicts a wound on a mini-boss, the token on the mini-boss's hit point track is moved down one slot, moved below 0, boss defeated. Each time an adventurer makes a skill test as part of a mini-boss action, they gain a benefit based on the total number of adventurers currently in the fight, as shown in the table on the mini-boss board. These benefits are cumulative. Oh, it's down there. Skill +1, difficulty -1, skill +2. But why would I want the skill to go up? The skill, that wouldn't... Does +1 actually mean -1? Whereas in the skill would go from 2 down to 1? And then difficulty being -1 actually means +1, where I would need to roll a 7 instead of a 6. That's what I'm going to... I don't know. Or maybe it's a plus because if there's more people there, you have better chances of attacking. Maybe that's what it's doing. Okay, that's fine. I get it. If an adventurer dies while in a mini-boss fight, they must be placed back on the map in the same region as the corresponding mini-boss token, then follow normal steps for resolving death. We don't have to deal with death yet. Adventurers never gain experience for taking skill tests as part of a mini-boss. Okay, so that makes sense. So we've already used our turn coming into Cavalry, so we can't actually go into the battle, right? So we're just going to forage for another piece of meat here. It's going to give us 2 meat. And then we're going to move on to the archer. It's the archer's turn once again. Oh, although I guess I didn't actually do anything, did I? I just moved into the area. So hold on, we're not going to gain another meat. We get to do this fight. We can move our knight into the mini-boss fight sect. This is going to be kind of awkward in order to do with the camera. Hold on. With the camera over there. Try and move it over here so we can see the mini-boss section here. Okay, hopefully that's centered enough that when I zoom in, it's gonna... Yeah, that kind of worked. That kind of worked. So we're now up in the mini-boss section here. And basically we have to choose one of these cards, either the Needle Spray or the Branch Lash, in order to test ourselves against. And we're probably going to go with the Needle Spray first, because the Branch Lash said something about us doing more damage for each RuneScape token that was on Needle Spray. So we're going to test the Needle Spray, and we're going to get... What's our defense? Our defense is 4, so we're actually going to get 3 dice for being over what the skill test is. And we just have to hope that we get a 6 or higher on one of them. So we're going to roll our dice here. We got an 8, a 10, and a 1. So 2 of our things checked off here. Place a token RuneScape on this card. Place a RuneScape token on this card. I hate that it does a token RS instead of doing an RS token. It's just confusing wording, if you ask me. Okay, so that doesn't do any damage to him, I'm guessing. Inflict a wound on Evergreen for each success, then remove each token RS from the Needle Spray card. Oh, Needle Spray from Evergreen all directions, take cover. So we don't actually do more damage for having more tokens on it. It just says you remove the tokens from Needle Spray. So what's even the point of having tokens on there at all? It doesn't say anything about the... It doesn't say anything about the Needle Spray card doing more damage, suffering more wounds if there's cards on it, right? So I'm actually kind of curious as to why that is now. Anyways, that's the full extent of the turn for our knight, I suppose. We Needle Sprayed. That was our turn. That was our turn, the grand old Needle Spray. So let's shift back over to the board here. Let's get this back down here to where we were. Try and get this all back in order here. And we're zooming on out so that we can see the board. And we are going to be going with our archer. Now, I think the archer is going to come on over. I still need to get someone's cooking up, don't I? Someone needs to go down to Lumbridge. I should have went down to the farmland so that I could go to Lumbridge. I still don't have any money. So that's not going to do anything for me. I need to get someone's cooking up. Could go to the Ice Mountain, but that's still going to take a couple turns to get to. Verac is too expensive, not that I have any money anyway. I think we're going to make our way up to Edgeville. That way we can go over to the Ice Mountain and we can try and get some cooking. So we're going to come on up to Edgeville. It is unfortunately going to increase our escalation track there at the end of our turn. I have no money, so I can't gain any experience, but I am going to gain an iron for being on here. And I actually think I'm going to toss that iron into the collective box here so that I can pick it up into the clan bank here so that I can pick it up with my knight once the knight is in a town again, because then I get to work on upgrading my longsword, trying to upgrade my longsword. So we're back to the knight here. Not much going on with the... This is going to be such a pain doing this every time. Not much going on for the archer this turn, but we're back to the knight. And we're going to go for, I think, a branch lash, right? Going to go for a branch lash. Oh, hold on. This is what it does for us. It says it right there. Reduce the test level and difficulty of the skill test by 1 for each RS token. So I have... I'm only level 2, eh? I'm still only level 2 in melee. All my experience has been going into defense, apparently. So I think we're going to end up doing another needle spray in that case, because I want to at least roll 2 dice. Plus I'll have my bonus dice thanks to the bronze longsword. So we're going to do another needle spray. Again, we get all 3 of our dice because we have a defense level of 4. And we got a 10, a 5, and a 5. So we gain 1 additional RS token on here. It's too bad you don't place an RS token on there for each success that you get. That would actually be nice. It would help move things along a little quicker. I think, here I am just making the game better. Better in quotations. Don't yell at me, people who develop this game. I'm just saying personally, to speed things along a bit, I would do that. I'm not saying that you guys didn't make a good game. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Okay, so we've done the knight. Get this down a little bit more here. We've done the knight. We're back to our archer. And we're going to move over here to the Ice Mountain. We're moving over to the Ice Mountain. We're going to explore. It's the first time we're going to be exploring the Edgeville cards here in the Ice Mountain. Edgeville, Ice Mountain. It's the top. We've had the top ones every time so far. A talking skull named Pete asks you to deliver a letter to the Oracle. Test your, 4 defense. I only have 1 defense. I'm only getting 1 die. But at least we only need to roll a 4, hopefully. Oh, a 6, okay. That could have turned out worse, right? Am I in enough? That could have turned out worse. So, let's see what we get here for... Gain 2 gold pieces. Well, that's nice. I'll take gold. Can't complain about gold. Oh, and that was also a defense skill check. So I gain an experience on defense here. That's something I'm going to have to remember while I'm going through this, is remembering to put experience on the board when I do a skill check, outside of if we're in boss battle or stuff like that. So we've done our skill check. I get 2 gold. So we have some gold we can spend now. If I can get down to Lumbridge, I can work on my cooking there. But I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 3 resources that I have. We're going to discard our 3 resources here in order to gain 3 experience in cooking, which is going to level up our cooking to level 2. So we only need 1 more cooking level. Our archer is just our quest lord right now, apparently. Okay, so that is the archer's turn. We are back to the knight, back to the combat, guys. We are back to the combat. There we go. So we should be okay to needle spray. We've brought it down to 2, which will give us our 2 dice plus our bonus dice. And we've brought down the difficulty to 6 instead of 8. But what I could do is I could do 1 more needle spray. 1 more needle spray. And if I succeed, then we will get a skill level of 1, which will give us 3 dice plus our bonus dice. So we'll gain 4 dice. And it'll bring the difficulty down to 5, which will give us a really strong chance to hit it pretty heavy. We could potentially do 5 damage if we get, 4 damage, I should say, if we get good rolls. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do another needle spray just to be safe. So, sorry, I lost what I was supposed to do there for a sec. So I get my 3 dice because our defense is 4. And we need to get 6 or higher in order to succeed. And we got a 7, a 6, and a 1. A 9, a 7, a 9, and a 1. So we have 2 successes. So we're gaining another RuneScape token on there. We're going to go on the offensive during our next our next attack here. So that is the end of the turn for the knight. Making our way back over here to our map. Just we're getting into some fancy camera work here, guys. You gotta appreciate the dedication I'm going through here. We're doing fancy camera stuff. This is a whole new territory for me. It's literally just me moving my tripod around. Anyway, we're back to the archer. I would stay in the Ice Mountain if I had more resources to give up for cooking, but I don't. Edgeville doesn't have anything for me. Goblin Village? It was Goblin Diplomacy was part of my thing, right? I could go to the Goblin Village and work on my quest here. It is sneaking. I'm level 2 in thieving still, so. Okay. Let's do it. We're gonna go over to the Goblin Village. So we're gonna go to the Goblin Village. We're gonna take our quest action in the Goblin Village. And we're going to work on our Goblin Diplomacy here. If the adventurer is at Goblin Village, they can steal their old clothes and present them back to the generals as an alternate option by performing the following action. We need to do a skill check, a thieving skill check of 1. We have 2, so we get our 3 dice. That's nice. And we need to roll a 5 or higher on those. So we get 3 dice. That's nice. 3 dice is nice. We got a 10, a 9, and a 10. Almost a perfect. Dang. Almost perfect 10 on that. I kind of wish I would have gotten that while we were doing something else. But it's okay. Goblin, where did I put it? Right here. Goblin Diplomacy. So we succeeded in our skill check there. Oh, I need to give myself 1 experience in thieving. I literally just said it. I have to remember to put the experience down. Okay, experience down. So we succeeded. The goblins agree that brown is the best. The quest is complete. Gain 3 experience in thieving and 1 gold piece. So I have gained a new level in thieving. We're now level 3 in thieving for our archer. Our archer is gaining levels way quicker than our archer is gaining levels way quicker than our knight is. Our knight's going through some combat though, so we definitely have some mixed stuff going on here. But man, look at all those levels up. Well, you guys can't see the levels, but look at all those levels up there. Man, oh man. See, I can't really angle this properly to show you all the level. You can probably kind of see them. You can see all the little ticks up there, I'm sure. And I need a gold piece. Get a gold piece for that. So 1 gold piece. And I can't skill because I don't have any resources. So that is just the end of the turn for our archer, which means we're coming on back over to the knight. Continuing on with the combat. And we are finally going to go on the offensive here. We are finally going to go on the offensive here. And we're going to do an attack. We're going to branch lash here. So, getting close to make an attempt at hacking a branch off as they swipe at you. Reduce the test level and difficulty of the skill test by 1 for each RS token on the needle spray card. We currently have 3 tokens on the needle spray card, so our skill is actually 1, which means we're going to gain 3 dice since we have a melee skill of 2. And our difficulty has been reduced to 5 from 8. So we need to get 5s or higher on 3 dice. But it's not just 3 dice. Seeing as we have our bronze longsword, we get to add the orange skill die to the tests. To test level 2 or below, oh, it is below. It is below because we reduced it to 1. So we get to use the die. So we get our 4 dice because it's been reduced to 1. Let's see what we got. We got a 10, a 5, a 9, and a 6. We got all 4 of them. So we are doing 4 damage to the evergreen. Is that what it's called? Just the evergreen? Putting it at 1 HP. Now this is going to reduce this back down to 0, unfortunately. running out of room here. We only need one more damage on the Evergreen in order to take it out. But that is going to be the turn for our Knight. That's going to bring us back to our Archer over here. So for the Archer, well, we completed our quest, so we don't really have much else to do, huh? I think I can take on new quests from capitals, right? Double check that. Side quests, scripted text. Each campaign will add a new side quest to the game, which will form an evolving side quest deck. Adventurers can accept a side quest as a bonus action. To accept a side quest, look through each of the cards in the side quest deck. Take one and place it beside the character sheet. Some side quests can only be accepted by adventurers in specific regions, so check carefully before accepting one. So we can just use it as a bonus action, I guess, as our secondary action, accepting a quest. For the time being, I don't want to end my turn in Burnthop because it's going to increase our escalation track again, which I'm not a particularly big fan of. I definitely don't want to do that. But if I go there, I still need to level up my cooking. I need to level up the cooking so I can get the garlic. God dang it. I don't have any resources. The only place I can go for cooking is Lumbridge. Well, I could warp to Lumbridge. I have 3 gold now. But I need that 3 gold to get 3 experience in cooking to get to the next cooking level. I need 1 more gold, dang it. Okay. We are going to... It's a good question. We are going to. That's it. We're just going to. Question. Can I just stay in the Goblin Village? Is that something I'm allowed to do? Can I just stay here and search? I don't think I have to move, right? Just trying to check my character sheet here, but I'm trying not to flip everything around. Move. Oh, move or teleport. It says move or teleport, so I have to move? What if I don't want to move? I don't know if the rules say you don't have to move. Although I'm getting the impression that it wants me to move and or teleport. Well, move or teleport. There is no and. Just or. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We'll move over to the Ice Mountain here. We'll explore the region once again. So we're in the Ice Mountain. Random events. That was the first time we're getting an event. Just put that back at the bottom of the deck here before we grab our event. So the event deck was shuffled. Let's see what exciting event takes place. So we have our event card. Kiss the Frog! A frog wearing a crown ribbits at you. Perhaps it's really a prince or princess. Only one way to find out. You may kiss the frog by advancing the escalation track +1 and then collecting a vault card 29. We could advance the escalation track. It's not when it gets to the top, it's when it pushes over, right? So like it just being at the top is fine. It's when it would exceed the top. Taking a turn, moving and teleporting. I apologize if I'm rustling the mic here. I think it's a little close to me. I accidentally put it a little higher up to my... a little higher up on my sweater than I normally would. So, oh God, there goes my sword. There goes my sword. Okay, here we go. Hopefully that fixed it. Equipment and boss fights, that's not what I want. The initiative track is not what I want. That's boss fight stuff. I want the escalation track book. Finding and skilling, equipment, schematics, bonus actions. Moving and teleporting, exploring a province. Skill tests. is not here. Oh, I should be paying attention to my cape things too. There's sections for leveling up your cape. There's different objectives and stuff that I should check out to make sure if I've hit them or not. I can't find a thing about the escalation track anymore. I'm just going to say that it's when it exceeds, not when it goes to. So we're going to push to the top here. One more and we're going to end up with a new escalation thing, but we're going to do the Kiss the Frog. So we need to get vault card number 29. Into the vault we go. $29. And card 29 was, whoop, zoom in here, just a frog. Special. Turns out it was just a frog. Return this card to the vault. Back to the vault it goes. Rip. Just kind of hoping that we would get something fancy. The frog head. Always remember loving getting the frog head in the game. You're just waiting for that random event to happen where the frogs pop up and you can go get that frog head. I don't know how many people really went for the prince outfit, but the frog head, that's some grade A stuff right there. So just a frog, that's over. I have no resources to skill my cooking up, so we're gonna come back on over to the night here. Back to the night. And I don't know if I should go for the attack or not. We're only gonna get one die, and we aren't gonna get our bonus die since it's back up to 4, and I would have to roll an 8. And that would be a pain. So I think we're going with needle spray, so we at least get our 3 dice. We'll try and reduce it a little bit anyway. So we're going needle spray. We need 6 or higher. We got a 9, a 4, and a 10. So we're getting 1 RS back onto there. Again, this would go a lot quicker if you did for each success. Now I might be, maybe you're supposed to do it for each success, but it definitely didn't say anything about doing it for each success. Okay, back to the archer in any case. I need more gold. I need more gold. I need to find a way to do that. I think I want to head over to Edgeville. It is going to push the escalation track up. We're going to end up with the next Vampyr Slayer escalation. But we can try and stockpile some iron so that we can use... so that we can try and upgrade our longsword. I think that might be a good thing to do. Or we could teleport to Lumbridge. We don't have the money right now, but we could still get 2 experience in cooking, right? And we would just need 1 more in order to level up our cooking skill. Or what we could do is we could teleport to get logs, because no one has a log right now, right? I do need a log and a bunch of string in order to try and upgrade the bow, which we have that crafting of 3, so that would actually probably be a good idea. I only need 1 more string, which I can get from Faldor when the knight finishes off the evergreen. So I think we are going to warp to Lumbridge. We're going to spend our 1 gold. We're going to make our way over here to Lumbridge. Now that we've teleported to Lumbridge, we are going to level. We're going to use 2 gold in order to get 2 experience in cooking. 1 more experience and we'll get to that level 3 cooking, which is where we need to be. Really, what I actually probably should have done was move the archer over to Faldor, got the string, and then put him into the fight next turn, because completing the fight, I think it said, gives you 3 experience in whatever you want. That may have been the better option, honestly, because I'm pushing anyway, but I need the wood regardless. But the experience, it's already done. It's already done. And then I'm going to get that lumber for my secondary bonus action there, my foraging action here in Lumbridge. I've got pieces all over the place now. Okay, we got 1 lumber. So that's going to bring us back to the night with our fancy camera movements here. Back to the night. Move up a little more here. Alrighty, do I go for the attack? We're at 3. Still not great. I'd still be rolling only 1 die, and I would still need to get a 7 or higher. I would at least, I think maybe I'm going to do it once more, just so I can roll at least 2 dice, and getting a 6 or higher shouldn't be too bad. Oh, geez, excuse me. Shouldn't be too bad with 2 dice. So we're going to go for the needle spray once more. And we're going to roll. We get a 1, a 3, and a 6. Luckily, we got that 6 because that was exactly what we needed to pass. So we got needle spray up to 2 here. And that is going to end our turn for the night. And we are coming on back down to Lumbridge. Back down to Lumbridge. With, that was a little low, I think. With the archer. Okay, so with our archer, I could go over to Drainer, but I get 1 less dice for anything I roll over there, right? Maybe I should go up to the dig site? I don't have any, well, I have the lumber as a resource, but I don't want to bank my lumber in order to get a crafting of all things. Oh, it's in Drainer, fish. Could go to the farmland and get an egg. Get some resources, anyway. Could stay here and get an... Oh, I was supposed to put the escalation track up for staying at Lumbridge. Hold on, we're going to do that quick. Retroactive escalation tracking. That's all. So we have Bloodlust. Screams echo in the night, far beyond the border of Drainer Village, as the bloodthirsty Count Drainer extends his rampage. Place danger tokens in the Wizard's Tower, Barbarian Village, and the farmland. Huh. Well, unfortunate. At least it's a good thing we didn't decide to go to the farmland. It's a good thing we didn't choose to go over there yet, right? So farmland, Barbarian Village, and the Wizard's Tower. Wizard's Tower. Okay, and then we've also got collect Vault Card 25 and place it on top of the Faldor Exploration deck. Collect Vault Card 26 and shuffle it into the Verac Exploration deck. Where are my escalations? They're down here. So I need number 25, and it says it's going on top of the Faldor Exploration deck. That's 25... 21, 22, 23, I don't have them. I think they got shuffled in already. So 25 has to go to the top of, Faldor, which is this guy. So I think that one's in here already. Okay, so there's 25 there. So I'm going to shuffle up the deck and then we'll put it on top. And then 26 is getting shuffled into the Verac deck, but it's already in the Verac deck. It's already shuffled into the Verac deck, so I guess we'll just reshuffle the deck, right? Make sure it's here first. 26. So I guess we'll just reshuffle the deck. Okay, retroactive escalation done. Retroactive escalating has been finished. I need to figure out where to move now. I have the lumber. I have no gold. I can't teleport. I've either got to go to the dig sites. I've got to go to Drader. Jeez, excuse me. Apparently I need to go to bed. Or I need to go to the farmland. Only place I'm going to go that isn't going to cause me to have to roll less dice is the dig site, but I'm not going to get much out of going there. I need to get everyone back to Port Sarum, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up coming over here to Draenor Village. And we're going to explore, because I'm stuck on the carpet. We're going to explore, because there isn't much else to do. So we're exploring in the Lumbridge area still. Ah, no, I forgot this was the top. Exploration. Count Draenor stalks the night. Now is not the time for a confrontation. Fortunately, the surroundings offer adequate places to hide, so long as you can make use of the shadows. Oh, we have to do a skill check. A difficulty of 3. Nope, a skill of 3. What's our thieving at? Our thieving's at 3. Oh, well, at least we get 2 dice. That's nice. But we have to roll a 7 or higher on one of those 2 dice. That's not going to be fun. Oh, and yet we got it. They were both 7s. Oh, man. Look at that. So we didn't fail. We're good. If we had failed, we would have suffered 2 wounds and advanced the escalation track. Bixbook would have died had Count Draenor gotten to us. So it's a good thing that Count Draenor didn't get to us. It's a good thing Count Draenor didn't get to us. But we successfully got away from him. And I was supposed to roll 1 less dice. They were both 7s. I was supposed to roll 1 less dice. That's my fault. I forgot about that because of the danger token. 1 less die. That's on me. They were both 7. Cut me some slack. I'll do my best to remember. It's that dang... I haven't looked at the dread card this entire time. Okay. Sorry. Continuing on. So we did that. And then we're foraging for a fish. We're getting a fish token. A fish resource. A fish ingredient, I guess. That's what we said at the beginning, right? We're separating them by ingredient and resource. Okay, so 1 fish ingredient. And that's going to end the turn. And if we're lucky, on this go about here, we are going to be finishing off this boss. Well, this mini boss. It's not a boss. With our next attack here. Okay, so we're going to go for it. We have brought it down to 2, a difficulty of 2, and we have an attack of 2. So we're getting at least 2 dice. And on one of these dice, we need a 6 or higher. Ooh, and we got it, luckily. We got 1 6, 1 3. We bring down, we have successfully defeated the Evergreen. So, now that the Evergreen has been defeated, we did that. When the Evergreen is defeated, collect Vault card number 9, and each adventurer in the fight gains 3 experience in a skill of their choice. We did it. We beat the Evergreen. I don't know what skills I'm going to put this into, honestly. I'd probably say I'm going to put it into melee or defense, but I really should probably, oh, everything's all out of whack now. Everything ended up sideways. This is on me. This is my fault. This is why I shouldn't move the camera around. I need to figure out which I want to put that into. I mean, upping my attack and defense is only going to get me so far. I think I need to do some other stuff. I think what I'm going to do, because our archer is just skilling everything like mad right now, is that I'm going to put those 3 experience points into gathering, because both characters are still only level 1 in gathering. So we're going to go into gathering. Level 2 in gathering. You're defeated, so we don't got to worry about that anymore. I guess you come back to Cavalry since he's been defeated, right? And it said I needed to get Vault card number 9. Putting these cards off to the side here. These will all end up going back into the vault once I'm done. Trying to order them here. So, card number 9 from the vault. Card number 9 from the vault. Yeah, there we go. Okay, card number 9 from the vault. the stake. Equipment, weapon. A wooden stake capable of halting a vampire's regenerative capabilities. This equipment can only be equipped by an adventurer who is also equipped with the stake hammer. Count Drainer, stake, difficulty of 5, skill level of 3. So this is definitely going to be going to our... knight when we get to that point. Maybe I should have put that experience into melee instead of into into the crafting. That's okay. The gathering, I mean, that's okay. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. So we have completed the battle. We're done. Now that I'm back here, do I still get to do my secondary thing? My forage? Can I still forage? I'm guessing I can't explore because I used my action to attack. But now that I'm back here, because it got defeated, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to give myself a meat. give myself a meat for a job well done killing that tree. We're back to the archer now that that's done. Archer's going to head up to Drainer Manor there. What do I still need to do? I need to get to Port Sarum with the crafting of 3, which we're working on. And I need that one more experience in cooking. Where the hell has cooking? Nowhere has cooking except for Lumbridge. I have no money. I have no money. I could bank my gold with the knights when I go to Faldor, right? I can put that into the clan bank. I can swap money around. But still take a couple turns. Getting to Port Sarum is going to be such a pain. If I go to Lumbridge, take the money out, use one of it, and then I can teleport over to Faldor the next turn. What do I need to do for the other thing? The cooking of 3, right? Cook the wreath of garlic, required skill 3. There's no test for it, you just have to do it. And cooking is a bonus action. So once I get that 3, well, all right, I guess. I said before that I have to move, didn't I? It's kind of a pain. So if that's the case, I guess I'll come over to the wizard tower. I can put some experience into, well, I only have the fish, but I can put some experience into my wizardry if I really wanted to, I suppose. I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I'm going to have to look up to see if you can choose not to move. I'm going to have to see if there's a consensus on that or not. I don't want to rifle through the book here now. I just need to make a decision. So I guess I'll come up to Drainer Manor here, and we're going to explore another Lumbridge exploration area. So Lumbridge, we are in Drainer Manor, which is the top one. I need to zoom in so it'll focus. Drainer Manor, a surprising number of ingredients can be found around Drainer Manor. 1. Well, I certainly have more than 1, so we get our 3 dice. And we need a 7 or higher on one of these. That's pretty high. We got it, though. We got a 9. It's pretty good. 9 off on the side here. And for getting that success, gain an ingredient of your choice. Of my choice, eh? An ingredient of my choice, you say. What ingredient do I want? It's a good question. It said ingredients, not resource, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We don't really have a whole lot we need to do, right? Well, I guess we'll just take 2 of whatever this thing that I'm on here is. This, like, seed-looking thing. We'll just take 2 of those. I'm not seeing anything on the board here that's would hint to me needing specific resources at the moment. So we're not gonna worry about it too much. And that's gonna bring us back to the knight once again. Knight is gonna move over to Faldor. We're gonna gain another string. We're not going to worry about leveling anything at the moment. I don't need to. Also, because I want to put that money into the clan bank. So we are going to gain a string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up transferring our 2 gold and the 3 string that we have in our inventory over to the clan bank, so that once our archer goes into Lumbridge there, they can take it out. I'm also going to take this iron because I do need the iron for the knight. And that's going to raise the escalation track 1. We need to move over here. Drainer Village. So we're going to explore. Since we're here, we may as well. We're also going to gain another fish, which is nice. So Drainer Village, rampaging vampires are best avoided. Defense of 2. We need a 5 or higher. What's my defense with Bixbic? Only 1, eh? So unfortunately, we're only going to be rolling 1 die for Bixbic here. And we need a 5 or higher. So it's a 50-50 chance. D10s are kind of weirdly shaped. It's not really 50-50. 7. Successful. So we did not suffer wounds. Where'd I put that? I keep putting cards down and they like blend into things. We did not suffer any wounds. But I do get a skill defense, which is actually a defense skill, which is actually going to give us... Did I do that for the last one too? I had to do my cooking last... Oh, I had to do my cooking last time. I didn't increase the cooking skill. I'm an idiot. I could have gone over to Faldor instead of coming down to Okay, backing up. I forgot to increase my cooking. I should be at level 3 cooking because of that skill test there. Right? Level 3 cooking. I'm good for cooking. This was there. This was no, that was the one I would have done. We're going to pretend I didn't do that. Just ignore. We're going to pretend I didn't do that. We're going to come over to Faldor. We are going to come over to Faldor. We're going to take all of this stuff out of the bank, all of this string and this other mumbo jumbo here, the 2 gold, which I now no longer need, actually. We're going to take the string and everything out, and we're going to... I guess we'll explore. We'll use one of those golds in order to get that defense level up, which I would have gotten from that event card there. So we are now level 2 defense. That's nice. And we gain a string. Oh, but I'm not going to forage. I'm going to use my bonus action to attempt to upgrade my bow because we have 3 string and 1 lumber. So crafting of 2, which we have a crafting level of 3, so we're going to get 3 dice, and we need a 6 on at least one of those dice to increase our bow here. An 8, a 3, and a 9. So we successfully upgraded our bow. Collect Vault Card 42. Discard all upgrade resources and return this card to the box. So these are gone. Our lumber is gone. And card number 42 from the vault is what we're getting as our next bow. And what a bow it is. We've gone from the short bow to the maple short bow. I never had a maple short bow. I think maple was a members thing. So it didn't happen for me. No luck. No luck for me. With the maple short bow, we get to add a bonus dice to any range skill test leveled 6 or lower. And we also gain a crafting experience for doing that crafting test there. So 1 experience closer to that. And that's going to end our turn. That's the end of our turn. So now, what do I want to do here? Can I only do 1 bonus action, or can I do multiple bonus actions? I think I can only do 1 bonus action. Yeah, it just says bonus action. So only 1 bonus action. That's fine. I can deal with that. So now with the knight, we're going to move the knight over to Draenor Manor so that we can set up. We can set up for getting into the boss fight, I guess. So we're going to move the knight over to Draenor Manor. We'll do our exploration here of the Lumbridge area, which now we're getting the one that we just did. Rampaging vampires are best avoided. 2 defense, which we have 4 defense. So we're going to get 3 dice, and we need a 5 on at least one of them. Where did I put those dice? We got a 7, a 6, and a 4, so 2 successes. So we don't have to worry about suffering any wounds from the vampires, and we gain an experience in defense. Okay. So, oh, and then I'm also going to forage for some of those seed things, right? So we are now coming to the archer, and this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big turn. There's going to be a lot of testing going on here. So our archer is going to move down to Port Sarim. We are going to do the quest action for the hammer. An adventurer in Port Sarim with crafting 3 or more can perform the following action. Speak to Thurgo by collecting Vault card number 10. Vault card number 10. Okay, Vault card number 10. That schematic? Thurgo. Been a minute since I've looked at this one. Since I've looked this one out. I don't have time to craft it myself, mind you. Tell you what, even for a beginner, making this hammer shouldn't be too tough. Take a schematic, find the materials and a decent forge, and you'll be able to put it together yourself. After hearing your request, Thurgo rummages through some old dusty shelves until he finds what he's looking for. Collect Vault card number 11. These are mostly in order, right? I'll just put these upside down so I can plop them on top of there when I'm done. Vault card number 11. Okay, Vault card number 11, the Stake Hammer Schematic. Hammer with a perfectly concave head for driving a stake into a vampire's heart. Resources needed: 2 iron, 1 lumber, and well, I just used my lumber to upgrade my bow. And 1 hide. Well, all right, I guess. Bonus action, craft the stake hammer. So once we get all those materials, we will work on crafting the stake hammer, I suppose. Okay. So we are now... Did I give myself... What did I just do? I had to do a crafting check, right? I've given myself a crafting... No, I didn't have to do a crafting check. I will have to do a crafting check when I do that. I didn't have to do it yet, though. And then we're going to use our bonus action for the turn to try and cook the garlic. An adventurer with 3 cooking or more can perform the following action. Collect Vault card number 4. And Vault card number 4. Oh God, I thought I was there. I thought I was close. There's still so much more to do. Garlic Wreath recipe, a valuable tool in slaying of vampires. Resources: 3 cabbages and 1 string. I don't know how cabbages equate to garlic, but someone may be able to fill me in on that one. And then this is also going to end up being a bonus action. So we have a couple things we need to start getting here. Man, I need... Well... I guess we're not close to being done. How much battery does my phone have? Hopefully it holds out. We're going to have to do a short part a little later on. Maybe I can break this one into parts in the event that that happens. In any case, we're going to move along here. Heading back to the night. What we need to do... Oh man, what do I need here? So I need string, string, string. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I'm looking at the wrong thing. 3 cabbages and string, 2 iron, a wood, and a silk. So all that stuff's over on that side. I can teleport up to Edgeville with... I can teleport up to Edgeville with Bixbic on my next turn. And we'll bring the knight down to Lumbridge to get that wood. And then we'll have to make our way up to Verac to get the silk. I also need cabbages. Where the heck are the cabbages at? I could make my way up to the Grand Exchange and just exchange stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. I have a cabbage. I need 2 more cabbages and a string. Which means I also need to come back to Faldor. So maybe I should go to Faldor first. Grab the string and then warp up for the iron. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so the night has moved down. We have to explore the Lumbridge area. And we're on Draenor Village. Random event. Another random event is going to take place. Events. Sandwich Lady. You look hungry to me. I'll tell you what, have a sandwich on me. Gain 1 cooked food or ration. Then roll a d10. Oh, okay. So 1 cooked food or ration. I'm going to take a ration. The rations are going to be useful during boss fights. Do I have them in a different package? I think I put them in a different package. Oh yeah, I did. The rations are going to be useful during a boss fight. The cooked food is only useful in the overworld, I believe is how it was, while rations are good in boss fights. So we're going to take a ration, give that to Vu the Knights, and then it said roll a d10. So let's roll our d10 and see what we get here. We got a 3, 6 to 10, 1 to 5. Okay. Hey, I didn't say you could have that. You chose the wrong sandwich. Roll a d10, place this adventurer in the corresponding region, and then your turn ends. Well, at least take me somewhere useful. A 3 again. 3 to 4, we're going to the Wizard's Tower. That is not useful. Not helpful. That's going to waste some time. Stupid sandwich lady. Take the wrong sandwich. Don't tell me to take a sandwich. You only gave me a choice between 2 different things, and I took the wrong one. Get out of here. Alrighty, we're back to the archer. We're back to Bixbic. We're gonna head up to Faldor here. We're not gonna skill anything. I don't want to spend the money I have. We need that money to teleport. However, we are going to be grabbing that string, since we are indeed going to need a string. And then we're going to end. That's the end of our turn. We have to increase the escalation track by 1. And then we're going to end. And then we're going to come on back over to the knight, who once again is going to go to Draenor Village, because friggin' sandwich lady booted us to the Wizard's Tower. Okay, Draenor Village. A figure wearing an elaborate red cloak swings their torch at you. An attack of 1, so we're going to gain 3 dice for that. We're going to gain 4 dice for that, because our bronze longsword gives us the die for skill levels under 2, and we need a 6 or higher. And we got it. We got a 7. We only got 1. We got a 7. Dang. Oh, gain a thread. Oh, I don't need the thread anymore. Gain a thread. We gained a thread. Sure. Sure. I'll take a thread. Why not? Okay, we got our thread. Oh, and I just did an attack roll, didn't I? So I gain an attack experience. Okay, we are back to Bixbic. We're going to spend that 1 gold. And we are although, hold on, where's the cabbage? Oh, the cabbage is down in Remington. I do need that. Oh, but I said I was going to make my way up to the Grand Exchange, right? Which is fine, because I have to go to Verac anyway. So we're going to use that 1 gold. Full focus on the lonely gold. We're going to use that 1 gold. We're going to teleport up to Edgeville. We aren't going to be exploring because we don't have any money, but we are going to be gaining that iron. So, nope, that's the wrong person. So we'll have 2 iron. And seeing as I am here, and Vu has the other iron, I'm actually going to put that iron into the clan bank. So once I hit Lumbridge there, I can take it out for Vu. And then that is going to raise the escalation track. Okay, we're heading over to Lumbridge, finally. We're getting over to Lumbridge. We're taking the lumber. We're putting the lumber in Lumberage. I should have a lumber over here, shouldn't I? We're taking the lumber. Okay, we've got 1 lumber. I'm taking this iron out of the clan bank. What else did I need? Gonna kind of share these between both my guys here. So 2 iron, lumber, and a hide, which we haven't gotten yet. Where are we at with that? I am going to put this cabbage into the clan bank. Sorry, not into Bix's inventory, but into the clan bank, so that once Bix gets to Verac there, I can take it out. Okay. So it's we have to raise the escalation track for ending in Lumbridge. Is Bix's turn. We're going to come to the Grand Exchange. This is our first time using the Grand Exchange. We are going to explore the Grand Exchange, which works differently. It's not drawing a card. We're going to exchange our resources for other resources. So what? Oh, Bix doesn't have a whole lot, eh? I got a fish and 2 seeds. What do we need still? I need 2 cabbages. 2 cabbages. And the thread, which also should have gone into the clan bank here. So I just need 2 cabbages. So we're just going to trade out these 2 seeds for 2 cabbages. That's all that's going to happen. Okay, 2 seeds for 2 cabbages. And then we're going to also get a flower for foraging on the space. Alrighty, and that's going to end our turn. Night is going to come up to the farmland. We're going to explore Verac. Oh, of course. God, man. At night, the gates of Verac close to protect the people inside from Count Draenor. It's up to you to protect those left outside the city walls by fending off the vampire. Well, that's not good. Not for me, anyway. That's, it's not good at all. I wish this did not get drawn. It's not going to go well for me. I have to do... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm only going to end up with 1 die regardless. So I may as well go for the one that has the lesser difficulty. So I guess we're going to test our magic. We're going to test our magic. We're only getting 1 die. We need a 6 or higher. Oh, we got a 9. Oh, we're safe. We're okay. We successfully defended the people. Gained 5 gold points. 5 gold points. And we get an experience in our magic there since we fended him off with a magic attack. 5 gold points. Dang, dude. We're rolling in dough again. We're rolling in dough. Okay, that's going to end the knight's turn. I'm also going to get an egg for foraging on that space. Just this fried egg here. Egg. Oh, that's Bix. Let's come over here. Okay, Bix is going to move over to Verac. We don't have any money, so we're not doing anything. Our escalation track's going to raise 1. And we're going to get a skin. Do I have What am I asking myself right now? Do I have everything I need to craft that? Iron, wood, and... No, I don't. Vu has everything. Iron, and the wood. So we're just going to toss this hide into the clam bank. And while we're here, we're going to take the string and the cabbage. And then, oh, but our extra action was taking the skin, eh? So I'm going to have to wait until the next turn to try and make that garlic wreath. That's okay, that's fine. We're going to move up here to Verac with the knight. For the first time in the game, our knight and our archer are occupying the same space, which doesn't mean anything. If they're occupying the same region, you can trade between them. But this is the first time they're in the same space. And while we're here, we're going to take that hide. And do I want to put skills into anything? I have money. I could put some stuff into my magic. Do I want to put 5 GP into my magic? Well, at least 2, right? At least 2. We're going to put 2 levels into our magic by using 2 GP. That's going to increase our... It's going to increase our magic to level 2. And then we're going to use our bonus action to try and craft this. Well, maybe I should wait to try and craft. Oh, but he doesn't have the items. Just say maybe I should try and wait to craft with Bixbic because he's the one with all the crafting skill. I poorly planned this. Seeing as we're on the same space, I'm going to trade the irons and the lumber and the hide over to Bixbic. It's going to take 2 turns to do this now, but that's fine. And then I guess I'll use the bonus action just to get another hide. Another hide is our bonus action. Okay, we are on to... Oh, I'm also going to transfer over 1 GP to Bixbic so he can teleport here. We ended, so we're going to end up there. We are going to teleport over to Draenor Village. Now, hold on a sec here. When an adventurer takes a skill test in region with a danger token, they roll 1 for your skill. So it's just in the area in general, eh? I guess I'm going to have to warp to Faldor then. I don't want to take the hit on the dice roll while trying to craft this stuff, because I'm only going to get 2 dice, so I'd only get 1 dice roll to try and roll a 6 or higher. I don't want that. I need 2 turns to do this, so we're actually going to come down to Port Sarim instead of Draenor Manor. So we're gonna teleport to Port Sarim, and then I guess we're gonna explore, because explore, right? Oh, god damn it. Okay, exploration. The crafters rally to prepare defenses against the rampaging vampire, but then some time misleading Count Draenor. They buy some time by misleading Count Draenor. So we need to do either a cooking or a gathering. Is my gathering 2? My gathering's 1. So I would rather do the cooking because it has the lower requirement, and I'll still get 2 dice since we have 3 in cooking. So we're going to get 2 dice. I need to get a 5 on one of these. And we got a 7 and a 1, so we did succeed. Gain 2 resources of your choice, and we gain an experience in cooking for doing that cooking. Okay, cooking. And 2 resources, eh? 2 resources of my choice. Let's just go with 2 stones. I haven't really needed stones for anything yet, but who knows? It might come up. 2 stones. Oh my god, so many items. Just trying to craft all this stuff. And then we're going to use our bonus action, and we're going to try and do the garlic wreath first, I suppose. So we need to do a skill check of 3. So we're going to gain 2 dice. And we need a 6 or higher on one of these dice. Come on. An 8 and a 7. We successfully got both of them. Collect vault card number 5. Gain 2 cooking experience. Discard this card and all of the resources listed above. Okay. So we are discarding this card. We gain 2 cooking experience plus 1 cooking experience for doing the skill test. So we are now level 4 in cooking. And it said to collect the vault card, which was this one, vault card number 5. And vault card number 5 happens to be Wreath of Garlic. Equipment, armor, a valuable tool in slaying vampires. During combat, count drainer boss fights, when taking a defense skill test, this adventurer may reroll a die of their choice. So this, we're going to keep this in the middle for the time being. We'll figure out who we want to equip that with when we get to that point. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're done with that. That is our bonus action there. We're going to use our one of our 2 GP on Vu the Knight, and we are going to warp them over here to Drainer Manor. Just going to do an exploration. Oh, God, hell. Keep ending up with these, eh? Terrified villagers flee from the murderous vampire, Count Drainer. Help as many as you can escape. So we either need to do a defense, a thieving, or a crafting skill check. I'd rather do the defense one since my defense is 4. We're going to get 3 dice minus 1 dice thanks to Dread. So we're going to get our 2 dice, and I need a 6 or higher. A 6 or higher. Oh gosh, 5 and a 7, both sides of it. We're good to go. Gain 2 GP and a resource of your choice, as well as a defense experience, since we did that defense skill test. Defense experience. Okay, and we gain 2 GP and a resource of our choice. Let's take a fruit. Well, take a fruit. Why not? Okay, and then we're going to forage for a seed. I think I have a seed, so we can just flip that over. 2 seeds. We are going to make our way up to Faldor here with our archer. Got 1 gold. Could level my thieving up. Oh, I can't level my thieving up because that's not offered here. Defense and crafting. Neither of those are close. I'd rather just hold on to the gold, I think. So we're not going to worry about skilling at all, but we are going to use our bonus action to try and craft the stake hammer here. So bonus action, craft the stake hammer. It is a skill check of 3 for crafting, which we are level 3, so we'll get 2 dice. And we need a 6 or higher on this one as well. 4 and a 9, we succeeded. Collect vault card number 12, gain 2 experience, discard this card and all of the resources required. So we are discarding our lumber, our skin. Oh, I didn't discard my cabbages for the other one. And oh, what was the other thing here? Oh, and the 2 irons. Okay. And the 2 irons. So all those are gone. We need to take a vault card number 12, and we gain 2 crafting experience as well as the 1 crafting experience. So we just gain a level in crafting, basically. That's pretty nice. And vault card number 12 we have to take. So we gain a level in crafting. We are now level 5 in crafting. And vault card number 12. Vault card number 12. Oh, I didn't put a thing down saying that I cooked the wreath of garlic or that I spoke to Thurgo. I'm just not keeping up with my quests. Alrighty, vault card number 12, the stake hammer. Equipment, accessory, hammer with a perfectly concave head. Hammer with a perfectly concave head for driving a stake into a vampire's heart. this adventurer may equip the stake. So whoever has the stake hammer has to have the stake. We'll keep all this stuff here for the time being. We'll figure out who's going to get that when we make it to that point. So the escalation track has risen above the top point here, so we are going to be taking another escalation here. And it is blood will flow. Not satisfied with merely selecting victims from the immediate surroundings, Count Draenor now extends his bloodlust farther afield. Collect Vault Card 27 and shuffle it into the Burnthop Exploration deck. Collect Vault Card 28 and place it on top of the Edgeville Exploration deck. So 27. Oh, same deal. These are shuffled in there already. So I'm not going to worry about the Burnthop one. It's already shoveled in, but we will put the Edgeville one on top, and that was 28. So 28 is now on top. Okay, that's done. Where did the escalations go? Right down here. And that is going to be our end of our turn with the thing. So we have now completed all of our... Oh, I'm about to dump a bunch of tokens onto the table. We've now completed all of the quests we have to complete in order to start the final battle against Count Draenor. Equipped with the best vampire slaying equipment available, all that remains is the confrontation with the terrible Count Draenor. An adventurer in Draenor Manor can perform the following actions. Start the Count Draenor boss fight by following the instructions on page 36 in the campaign section of the rulebook. Okay, I guess we're starting the battle. We're starting the battle, right? And I'll have to decide this going in. What I'm going to do is I am going to equip our knight with the stake hammer and the stake, which I'm going to take a guess gets rid of my bronze longsword. Is this like a one at a time kind of deal? I don't know. We'll keep it there for the time being. And I'm going to give the Wreath of Garlic to Bixbic. And we're going to start the boss fight, I guess. So we're going to have to figure out how this works. We're going to go to our boss. Going to have to go to our boss section here, which is very long. A very long boss section. I need to check what my battery's at here. We might have to break this into 18%. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get all the way through this. We'll see though. I might have to break this into a separate part. If it dies, if the video ends abruptly, I'll have to go charge my phone and then come back and do this. And then we'll just have to edit it together, I suppose. So I apologize if I abruptly end. I also apologize if I end without noticing. That's definitely something that'll probably happen. Okay. Boss fights. Oh, well, let's set up the boss fight first. I think it said it was on page 36. Okay, 36. Count Draenor boss fight. The air grows stale as you descend to face your bloodthirsty adversary with determination. You force open the lid of the coffin and face the vampire within. Collect the 5 Count Draenor behavior cards, 4 unstable ground terrain cards, and 1 coffin terrain card. Yep, I have all those. Flip the Vampyr Slayer Campaign board over to the boss fight side. Already done. Place the unstable ground terrain cards in the corner spaces. Place the coffin terrain card in the center space. That is these. So, coffin, unstable ground, unstable ground, unstable ground, unstable ground. With the open side showing. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Place the adventurer with the highest crafting skill and Count Draenor in the center space. Highest crafting would go to Bixbix, so I guess you're coming in here, and Count Draenor is also coming in here. Place the remaining adventurers in different other spaces of your choice. Okay, well, let's put the knight just off to the left here, I suppose. Set up the initiative track and start. Set up the initiative track starting adventurer party hit points to begin the first. Oh, right, I have to flip this over, right? So flip this over. Boom. Okay. Count Drainer begins the boss fight with 10 hit points. So he's getting 10. Set up the initiative track and starting adventurer party hit points, page 31, and begin the first round of the fight. Okay. 31. I don't remember how this works. Okay. 2 adventurers. The party's starting and maximum hit points is 14. And 2 additional initiative cards to the fight. Add 2 additional... I can't speak for some reason. Add 2 additional cards to the fight. Oh, I didn't have multiple initiative cards, I don't think. I was checking this when I started here. I didn't have multiple initiative cards for the knight or the archer. I could only find 1 of each. But let's skim through the cards here. Maybe I just missed them. Let's do some card skimming. Oh, well, if I have them, there's nothing there. Yeah, I don't have multiple initiative cards for more things. So I guess what we're gonna do is we'll use the skiller one for the melee, and we'll use the wizard for the archer, melee and range. Try and keep it in order there. I also have not been paying attention to my completed side quests. I think both of them completed their side quests, right? So each of you get a tick for your completed side quests. Reach level 8 in any skill, reach level 3 in 8 skills, have 15 coins, have 1 of each of the 12 resources, complete 4 side quests. No one's done any of those yet. Okay, so we're gonna do these. I have to remember how the initiative track works. And this is the problem I was going to have with my my phone dying here, was that I have to remember how all this stuff works. Okay. Section will detail adventurers take on powerful bosses, enemies specific each boss fight, detail corresponding campaign, battleground, boss fight, yeah, okay, and all that, blah, 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 blah. Dishes over spaces, blah, 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 blah. Equipment in a boss fight. Just before entering a boss fight, adventurers may freely exchange resource and equipments. Did that already. Select their equipment card they will fight. Only the equipment card an adventurer has equipped, will have any effect during the boss fight. The rest of the equipment in their inventory cannot be used until the fight is over. There are 4 different types of equipment: weapon, armory, accessory, and cape. An adventurer can't be equipped with more than 1 card of one type. So it's a weapon, so I can't have my bronze longsword. Okay, that's fine. Party hit points and initiative cards. Here we go, okay. So yeah, we did that already. Hit point board, I know. The initiative track. The initiative track determines the order adventurers and bosses will take their turns in. It is made up of adventurer initiative cards and boss behavior cards dealt from left to right. Boss behavior cards detail how the boss will act during turn. Set up the initiative track as followed. Take the adventurer initiative cards corresponding to each adventurer miniature being used and shuffle them together. If there are fewer than 4 adventurers, players need to take additional initiative cards as detailed in that section. Okay, so I'm shuffling our initiative cards together, I suppose. To add an additional initiative card to the fight, take one of the unused initiative cards and add it to the initiative deck. we'll be using in the fight. These cards are dealt onto the initiative track as normal. Okay. Hit point board, yeah. Okay, but it didn't tell me how to set up the initiative track. That's what I don't know. Initiative track determines the order of adventure. Okay, boss behavior, yeah, okay. Take the adventure initiative cards, deal. Okay, take the number of boss behavior cards at random and equal to the amount of player initiative cards, so 4. So we have our behavior cards here, of which there are 5. So let's randomly select 4 of them here. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and we'll go with the bottom one, 4. So we got these, and we are going to shuffle. Equal to the number of initiative cards, shuffle them together separately from the initiative card. Pick one adventurer initiative card at random, place it near the battleground where there is table space to place a card. More cards to the right. Pick a boss behavior card at random, place it to the right of the previous card. Continue placing cards right in this manner until all cards have been placed, okay? We're just going to do them right here so that we have it. So it's going to be Archer, Bloodlust, Knight, Regenerate, that sucks, Knight, and the Archer will be last, Lash Out, and then it'll be Archer and Eternal Fury. Okay. Once the initiative track's been set up, the first round of the boss fight can begin. When an additional initiative card takes, okay, an adventurer's turn during a boss fight, an adventurer's turn is split into 2 actions in order, move, and combat. At first action, okay, this I get, this I understand, I think. So range, the action can affect a miniature or card within the range listed. Each action requires the adventurer pass a skill test. Pass effect, boss action skill tests usually only have an effect if the skill test is passed and often give a greater benefit for more successful dice, unlike regular skill tests. Okay. Combat action and fight, it can be performed in, okay. XP in a boss fight, okay. Okay. Yeah, enrage once they hit 5, I remember that. And they have, I think, an enraged effect somewhere. I don't remember where that's representing the boss enemy's reaction circumstance. The fight when token is moved past the 5 slot, the boss engage roll takes effect. The enrage effect for each boss is different and detailed in their entries, so I guess it's in the actual rules part there. Okay, an adventurer turn example, magic attack, range 1. Okay, but using the short bow, it doesn't say attack, right? But I guess it's just whatever it is, whatever type it is. Laura rolls a 1, 3, 8, and 10. Since 2 dice for successful, Count Drainer suffers 2 wounds. In addition, like, I think I understand how all this works. It's just kind of confusing. It's a little bit confusing. Just a bit. A little bit. Okay, I think I mostly understand how this goes. Mostly. Right, there's a whole movement track here, which I'll have to keep open for sure. Okay, so Count Drainer boss fight, aggro style, collect 5. Okay, flip the Vampyr Slayer campaign board, done. 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 Done, done, okay. Oh, there's the enrage effect. Oh, combat actions, here we go. There's a big list of combat actions here and what we can do. Perfect. That makes my life easier, although not really because my skills are not high enough. My skills are not high enough for this. Jeez. Okay, so we're just going to start off. We're starting off with the Archer, right? The Archer is in their space already. So what do we want to do with the Archer? Range of 2, inflict 1 wound on Count Drainer. It's a range of 2, so I could be farther away. It doesn't say I have to be farther away. Like, I can still do an attack that says range of 2 next to it, right? Or do I have to do one that says same space? Oh, the whole battleground, wow. One adventurer or behavior card may be moved one slot to the left or right on the initiative track for each successful die. Oh, look at that. Would I really want to front load all of my attacks? That would be interesting, right? Range 1, 3. Is my magic up at all? No, my magic's 1. That wouldn't be great. A 6. Okay, well, I have no way to push him over, though. I would want him to move. Is he gonna... Well, he's about to move 2 spaces towards... What was that one again? 2 spaces towards... Where's that big list of movements? 2 spaces towards the adventurer with the initiative card furthest to the left. Okay. Oh, we're at 12%. This isn't gonna... Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move, I suppose. We're gonna move 1 to the left here as our movement, and then we're going to attack. We're gonna be using sleight of hand. Okay, we're going to be using sleight of hand, which, you know what, I should probably make this so it's a little more, you can actually see what's going on here, right? There we go. We're going to use sleight of hand, which is right down here. It's a skill of 2 with a difficulty of 6. And we're going to try, oh, why isn't this focusing? I'm pretty close. Just choosing not to focus. Oh, that sucks. I don't know why it's not focusing. That's really odd. There we go. It just kicked over. Weird. Okay, we're doing sleight of hand. So 1 adventurer or behavior card may be moved 1 slot to the left or right on the initiative track for each successful die. It is a skill test of 2 with a difficulty of 6. Our thieving is 3, so we're going to get our 3 dice for this. And we only got 1 success. That's fine. We're going to move the melee skiller up before this regenerate here. Okay, and that ends our turn. So it's going to make it Bloodlust, Count Drainer's turn now. So he's moving towards the player with the closest, farthest to the left. So he's moving towards our archer here, unfortunately. And then his attack is on the same space. Suffer 3 wounds and Count Drainer heals 1. Damn, dude. Damn, that sucks. I don't think we're set up well for this battle. If we die on this, I'm just going to end the video and we'll have to try it again some other time. Maybe I'll reset the whole thing with our current stats and try and give it another go. Permadeath, we're playing hardcore. Hardcore Iron Man, right? That's how it is. Same space, attacks target each adventurer on the same space as the boss. Dang, dude. So each person's being affected by this attack here. So first we'll do our, what am I trying to say here? Our archer, I guess, who has a defense of 2. That's 3. So unfortunately we're only getting 1 die on our archer here. Oh, and we only got a 3. That's a fail. That's unfortunate. Though he does have the Wreath of Garlic. During Count Drainer, when taking a dice skill test, the adventurer may re-roll a die of their choice. We have 1 more chance. We have another chance here. It's all good. Ooh, and it's a 7. We did it. We did it. Ooh. So we saved not getting hit by 3 things there. But now we also have to do it for our knight. However, our knight has 4 defense. So we're going to get 3 dice with him at least. And a 7 on that one as well. Easy win on that one. Count Drainer, you did nothing to us today. Okay, so up next is the knight. Our knight, oh man, that melee attack is brutal. What do I got? My melee's only at 2. Melee's only at 2. Really? Well, I don't have a chance. I don't have a choice, I should say. I don't have a choice. I'm assuming I can still do range on the space of. I think it's just up to 2 spaces. It would be kind of dumb if you have to be at 2 spaces away in order to... Which means I should have gotten a range attack. We're going to do a little rewind here. We're going to do that range attack. It's a 3. We have a range of 3, so we get 2 dice. We need a 6 or higher, a 4 and a 1. So we failed anyway. We wouldn't have gotten it anyway. It's all good. It's fine. We're gonna try and do an attack with our melee here. I can't do much. We need magic would have been good. I need a 5, a skill of 5. I only have 2, so I need to hope that I get an 8 or higher, which we did not. We got a 7, so we failed our attack. That sucks. It is still our turn. It is still the knight's turn. And we could try and go for another one, right? I have to be in the same space in order to attack him. One adventurer may move for each successful die. If there are 2 or more successful die, Count Drainer can be moved 1 space instead. That's not too bad. Okay, well, I just have to try the attack again, I think. And we got a 5, so we failed the attack. That's unfortunate. I have hit 4% battery here, so I'm going to wrap this video up right here. I'm going to go charge my phone. I'm going to try and finish this up. It may or may not happen. It is currently 4 o'clock in the morning, far too early for me. So we'll see if that happens. It may not happen. If it doesn't happen, we're just going to end up putting up the video where it is right here. Unfortunately, we didn't finish off our combat with Count Drainer, but I'll try and finish it up. We'll see how it goes. In any case, thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I will see you all next time when we either continue this or try this again. It's possible we might try it again. If you're over on Instagram, you can follow us at Board Games Are For Everybody over there. We just post videos of games we're playing, photos of games we're playing, stuff we pick up, stuff like that. Otherwise, this may be completely pointless because this video may be continuing in 2 seconds. If it's not, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you all next time. Until then, just remember, board games are for everybody. Peace.